Okay, so next up, let's create a new method inside of the UI.js file, which will basically plot the points as well as the line which will be predicted by using the coefficients.
This video is brought to you by EpiPies Academy.
Okay, so now to do that, let's create a new function. So basically we have export followed by async function. Okay, so now the function name is basically analogous to our plot data function, and this basically is plot data and predictions. Okay, and now inside of the arguments we basically have the same things, which are the container, the xs, ys. So let's copy this, let's paste it over here, and now we just have one more argument, which is the predictions, which will basically be the points generated by our coefficients, okay, which are the trained coefficients. So now over here, let's first create the same variables, which are x values and y values. So let's copy these, let's paste them over here. Okay, then now we basically have to create another constant over here using the prediction value, which we have taken as the input. So over here, let's make a new constant, which is prediction value or pred value, and this is basically equal to, we basically have to get the data from pred. So this is await, and we have preds dot data. Okay, so we have basically initialized three constants which take the data from these particular arguments which is being passed on. So now we similarly have to create a values constant. So let's copy this, let's copy the values constant from here and let's paste it. Okay, and now over here we basically have to put in another parameter, which is the predicted values, because we also want to plot it on the graph. So over here we have y values, let's put a comma after this, and now we have predictions. So we have pred, and this is basically equal to, and over here we have predicted value or pred values followed by the ith syntax, because this is again we are referencing to a particular array. Okay, so now after this the process is again pretty much same, where we have to declare a spec variable, so a spec constant. So over here let's create a new constant called spec, and this is basically equal to, let's add a semicolon over here, and now inside spec let's basically copy everything up to the data section. Okay, so let's copy this and let's paste it over here. And now essentially after data inside of the spec constant, we basically have to now add in two different layers. Okay, so now to do that, basically we have to put in the layer parameter, and now layer parameter will also take in basically an array of nested JSON objects. Okay, so over here inside of the layer, let's put in the square bracket for an array, and this will basically take in nested JSON objects. Okay, so over here we basically have curly brackets, and now inside of those curly brackets we have to put in new parameters. So the first one, now basically we have to plot in all of the points over here as the first layer. Okay, so let's copy the mark point and encoding from here. Okay, and now let's paste it over here. Okay, so make sure everything is on the line where it should be. Okay, so we have mark as the point, then we have the encoding, and then we have the x and the y coordinates. Okay, so now after the encoding bracket is done, basically this is the value of the first JSON object. So over here, after this we have to put a comma, and now we basically have to put in our second nested JSON object, and over here we basically have to put in a new mark. So let's type in mark over here, and this mark is basically a line mark now, because this is the basically the line which we want to create of the equations which we have predicted. So now we have the mark which is a line, and then we have the encoding. Okay, so now the encoding is basically equal to, this will again take in a nested JSON object. Okay, so now inside of encoding, we basically have to put in the x and the y values. Let's first put a comma after encoding. Okay, so now we have to put in the x and the y values over here. So the first one is x, and it will basically be identical to the one over here. So we have field x and the type is quantitative. Okay, so let's just copy this. Let's paste it over here. Then let's do the same thing for y. So let's just change this to y first of all. And now we basically have to put in one more parameter over here, which is color, and this will basically indicate the color of the line which we want to plot. Okay, so we have color over here, and now the color will again take in a JSON object, and the name of the parameter is value, and the value will basically be, so now we have to name a color, and so inside vega.github.io, so basically inside this particular library we have a color called as tomato, which basically is a shade of red, and that is a good differentiating color when compared to our points. So we have tomato over here. So we basically have defined the color values, and yes, so with that we have basically completed the declaration of the specification constant. And now it's basically time to call the same render chart method. Okay, so let's copy this, and basically let's paste it over here. Okay, so now with this we have basically completed the implementation of two methods. Okay, so the first one is the plot data method, where we plot the initial points, and the second one is a plot data and prediction methods, where we plot in the points and a particular line which is based on our prediction. So we'll basically call this method two times, where we'll first display the line which is created by the random coefficients, and then we'll call it again, where we'll display the line created by the trained coefficients. And this is just so that we can make a sense of the visual output. Okay, so now the next part is basically a function called as render coefficients, and that is when we actually have to use the document.querySelector method. So if you remember, inside of the basics of JavaScript section, we have basically studied the querySelector method, where we selected an object from the HTML, and we basically manipulated the values inside of it by using JavaScript. So now similarly over here we also have to create a new function. So let's export a new function, and the name of the function is render coefficients. Okay, so we have render coefficients, and this method basically just displays the text value of the final trained coefficient. So now this will take in two arguments. Okay, so the first one is a container and the second one is the value of the coefficients. Okay, so then inside this particular function, now we have to use document.querySelector. So we have document.querySelector and we have to query select a particular div which is called as the container. So we have container over here, and now we have to modify the inner HTML, and this is basically equal to, let's go on a new line, and now we have to create a string which contains variables simultaneously inside of it, and to do that we have to add the backticks tag. So this key is basically the key below your escape key. So when you press it 2 times, you basically have typed in 2 backticks. So now inside of the backticks, basically let's first put in a span, which is an HTML element. So span, and then the inside of the span we have a equal to, and then we want to find the value of the coefficient of a. So over here we have the $sign, and this is basically used to indicate the value of variable inside the particular curly bracket. Okay, so over here we have coefficients dot a dot, and now we basically have to show this as a numerical value. So we have 2 fixed, and this is basically takes in a numerical value and it is 3. Okay, so then similarly we have the value of b. So let's first copy this. So let's paste it. So we have b is equal to, so we are basically displaying the values of all of the coefficients. So we have b is equal to, and then we have coefficients dot b, and then similarly let's go on a new line. Okay, so let's just make sure that we have added a space over here. So we have c is equal to coefficients dot c, and then we similarly have d is equal to coefficients dot d. And now after this particular variable, or after the declaration of the d variable, we have to close the value of the span. Okay, so let's close span, and yes, so with this we have basically modified the contents of the HTML, the container inside our HTML file, and we'll be creating the container inside the HTML file shortly. So this is the file which you want to create, basically write code in. So let's first save everything. And yes, so let's recap everything what we have done in the UI.js up till now. So we have basically created a function which will plot the points onto a graph on HTML by using Vega, which is a library. And then we have created a new function which will plot data and predictions on a new graph. So basically we have points and a line on a new graph. And then we have this final method which is called as render coefficients, which basically gives in all of the numerical coefficients into an HTML elements, and for that we use document.querySelector and we modify the inner HTML, and all of this value is basically a string, and we only use backticks over here because we want to declare a variable inside it. Okay, so you can even do this by typing in simple string notation over here, but that is when you cannot use the you basically don't have the freedom of declaring variables like this. Okay, so these double quote marks are simply replaced by double backticks. Okay, so that's all inside the UI.js part. Let's save everything, and now in the next lecture onwards we'll be focused on implementing the index.html file.